Again, we're looking at XRP. Now, why would I choose to look at XRP at this point in time? Why? Well, it's interesting because you think about it, right? And last time I thought this could have been a D wave. Now, easily that's just such a small D wave. But instead, it looks like it's expanding, which is pretty normal, right? Given that the last time I had an update, it was around this area, right? So, what is this pattern? Now, this immediately tells me that this is an A, B, C, D, E. So that's a four. Yeah, a four and a five, right? So that means this is the A wave of the D wave. Don't believe me, just watch. And you'll see, if you don't understand it by now, I understand the waves really well. You might eventually. Now, that's interesting because Bitcoin made a five-wave move, or is in the process of doing the five-wave move. But yet XRP is still bound to the confines of this A wave structure, right? And that's all it's going to be, an A wave structure. And I still don't doubt it. And I suppose another reason that I'm thinking of now is why I'm choosing to look at XRP is because if Bitcoin was going to produce this massive rally, right? You wouldn't be in an A wave zigzag in XRP, would you? No, you wouldn't. You'd literally be looking at the beginning of a trend, right? Now, if you're a trend follower, XRP is not in a trend. That does not look like a trend to me. I'm sorry. I have to say it. It's not a trend. Now, I love all cryptos, especially XRP, XLM, XRP. There's no particular order. They're all just in a basket of cryptos I love. I love Bitcoin, right? I want to own Bitcoin, but why would I own Bitcoin when it's going to crash to crap amounts of money, like literally dust, right? Now, if you don't believe that wave twos can really go down, bring the price right down in value, check out my oil video, right? That chart indicates that wave one ended in 2008, right? And when did oil begin? I don't know, 600 BC or 1859. Um, yeah, well, wave one ended in 2008, right? According to that analysis. And wave two went to zero. Okay, wave twos can do that. Okay, I'm not saying Bitcoin's going to do that, but wave twos can go all the way to zero. Now, granted, oil is a long term chart, so it's not exactly zero in real terms, right? It's more like it's like the start of the move, right? Like Elliott Wave suggests that price cannot go back to, it can only go 99%. Well, I disagree. I reckon it can go back to exactly where it began. As long as it doesn't go below it, it's still wave two, right? Now, given that the oil chart started way long time ago, right? Wave two, zero, whatever, who cares, right? Nobody bloody cares. As long as it keeps going up, that's a trend, right? This ain't no trend. This is merely some little correction before a massive dump. I like the idea of a dump because I can buy it cheaper. Now, unless you have vested interests and you're holding and you're praying and you're holding on for dear life, hodling, then you're probably going to have something to say. You might even drop a comment, troll, say, hogwash, you're dreaming, AriasWave is shit, crap, whatever you want to say, right? It doesn't mean anything. At the end of the day, check your emotions, check your ego. What I do here is proven to be gold analysis, gold level. It's going to get to gold standard analysis. It's going to beat everything. Everything. I will own analysis in the future. Just going to take me a little while, but it's going to happen, right? Why? Because I know how the waves work, and I know that everything else is basically not going to compare in the long run. That's all, right? And I suppose we're going to find out, aren't we? And so you can be there too. I want to be there. You could be there. We'll all be there, right? So here we have wave A. Sorry for the rant, by the way, but you love XRP, right? I love XRP. Anyway, so we have a 5-wave move. That's my point. So does that mean we're going to go for a dip? Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry, we are. We're going to go for a dip. Probably going to be, a pretty decent dip as well. It's probably going to go back to at least, I would say, 50%. Right now, given that the previous wave 4 was around 50%, I would say that we're probably going to go down here. Now, I don't know the future. I can't tell you exactly which wave that is in. It could be A. But the point is that a zigzag wave D requires an A, which we've seen, a B wave, which consists of A, B, C, D, E, and then you'll get your C wave, right? Now, because potentially we're looking for a higher price, that would only encompass wave D, right? So that's why the waves are complex. If you don't get them, I'm sorry, but it's not a bad thing to learn the waves, right? So once we get that, you know, C in brackets or parenthesis, how some people say 'em. Sorry, I'm from Australia. I I don't say parenthesis. Parenthesis. How do you say that? I'm also part Spanish, so parenthesis. Anyway, parenthesis. Ah, shit, don't even try. The point is that we're going to see a D and an E, and then see that will only be that's A, B, C of that D. What about A back here? We have A. Sorry, it's so small. Make it bigger, right? That will be the completion of the B wave. See, it's all fractal patterns. Gotta love them, right? So from that point where I've put this wave, it should be here. That was only illustration purposes. Come on, right? That will be the zigzag in its entirety, right? Wherever it decides to go. Now, the way that I measure it usually is from the end, the length of wave A. So whatever, same difference. The point is we're still a little bit away from that. There's still a little bit more to go. And the reason I say that is because we've seen wave A and it's taken that long, right? So to see wave D might take longer, but D and E, yeah, you get the picture, right? But yet that's only wave A, right? What about B, C, D, E? They could happen quicker, definitely. Like sometimes A is the biggest wave, right? B, C, D, E could be smaller, absolutely. That's one of the rules I have. If A wave is the biggest, C, D, and E can be smaller, right? It's almost like an alternation type thing between corrections, right? And AriasWave is all about corrections. Corrections are the most important thing in waves, right? Because in the long run, everything is a correction, right? If you look at the interest rates, that is one giant correction that we're still in since 1100 AD, right? Um, yeah, we're still in a correction. Don't worry, you don't want to know when the correction ends. Actually, it's when it goes to about 10 to 15% interest rates. That's when the correction is. Then we're going to get an impulsive move to the downside. Now that's going to be pretty good for markets, but you have to understand the point. It's the corrections are basically can be over long periods of time, right? So what we're looking at now is part of a correction. You don't know it, but it is. It's just that we're inside of a corrective structure. Yes, it can have impulsive waves, but everything is a correction. Life is a correction. The universe is always correcting, and it goes through periods of expansion that are probably larger than other periods. It's yet to be discovered. Don't worry, they'll discover it soon. Why? Because at the fractal, at the most basic level, you can see it, right? And if everything's a fractal, then you can just only imagine it's happening at a larger degree, right? That's what I love about waves. It's so interesting. So I'll never stop analyzing the markets, and that's a fact. Except maybe when I, kick the bucket or something. It's a rocky road to Dublin. But anyway, moving on. This is the case for XRP in this particular case, in my opinion. I think that the move down eventually will get pretty nasty, but it'll be sharp when it happens. I believe when we get a big crash here, it'll be the end of this whole correction, right? And corrections can sometimes be like that, right? They can, right? They can, like, I'll give you an example, right? Like, and this just happens to be the case with waves in general. Sometimes you can have really choppy moves, and then suddenly, bang, and it ends the correction, right? Here we can have choppy moves, right? And then bang, it ends the correction, right? Yeah, sure, it looks bigger, but so what? The next move that comes is even bigger to the upside than this crap that happened after 2020. Can you see my point? Maybe you can't, but that's how I see it. And if you like the idea of that, then stay tuned because there's going to be a lot more of that type of thing coming soon. But in the meantime, if you want to be trading this stuff, if you like futures, if you like that sort of thing, which I don't encourage, by the way, although I do dabble myself in it, you know, um, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm giving you the perspective of the wave analysis based on AriasWave methodology I created. I love waves, so I thought I'd learn to read them, right? And I think that it's good to know how to read the waves because otherwise, all you're going to be doing is using like different wave analysis methods that don't really help you. See, this is a new analysis method, except it's not just a little tick box that you tick when you're filling out one of these ideas. This is a live person with a real methodology created in modern times, giving it to you on a chart, you know, in today's world. So can you fathom that? Well, that's what you're seeing. If you don't appreciate it, that's fine. Magic Poop Cannon is probably telling you right now that Bitcoin's going to the moon, actually, probably right now. So go check it out. Hopefully, you found this one informative. Thanks for watching.